welcome to another episode of Bob TV. So today we've got a question from Joanna, and we thought we'd answer all these questions so you can kind of see what we're like on tour. And her question is it okay to reach out to someone whose work I admire to just get to know them when they could potentially see me as a competitor?
Ooh, this is a big one.
Yeah, this is a bit tricky because sometimes, you see people online and they have a persona and they seem really open and friendly, and you just maybe want to get to know them better. And it is such a lonely industry that it's nice to have friends or people that you can talk to aside from the four walls.
I have one friend, and that's you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so it's interesting. There's actually two parts to this, really, because the one question is okay to reach out to somebody whose work I admire, and then it's also about what if they're my competitor. So I'm actually going to answer this in two parts. Is it okay to reach out? Absolutely, 100%. It's totally okay to reach out. In fact, we really encourage it. We always tell people, send an email, pick up the phone, send an Instagram message, whatever it is you want to do, whether those people are your cake heroes or not your cake heroes, just somebody you admire a little bit.
Most people are nice people, and they'd be very flattered to hear.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? It is an extremely lonely industry. So to hear from somebody, hey, thanks, I really love that cake that you make, or your tutorial was great, or whatever, it's really nice to hear. In terms of if they can potentially see you as a competitor, I think the thing to remember there is that you're not really a competitor if you're just reaching out with a compliment. And I think if you're reaching out from a genuine place of wanting to get to know them, not from I'm going to become friends with them so I can then steal all those things, then you're probably going to be okay. But it's also a matter of how you reach out to them. So it's totally cool to send an email and go, hey, Jane, I'm going to be in your neighborhood this week taking a class or, whatever. Can we have a coffee? Or I'm doing your class this week. Could I buy you a coffee afterwards or whatever? It's totally okay to do that. Mm-hmm. What's not okay is to send emails which say, hey, Jane, so how'd you make that frozen cake?
And let's go for a coffee so you can tell me.
Yeah, or whatever. That's not really cool. Or, hey, Jane, I love that method that you invented and you perfected and you teach a tutorial for. Can you tell me for free? Because I'm awesome. That's really not cool. So I think if you're going to reach out to people, do it from a genuine place of wanting to get to know them, wanting to getting to know who they are personally. And just trying to reach out and say, I think you're my people, and I think we would get along really well and be really cool.
And you know what? Some really great friendships have been formed because of that.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Case in point, okay? Right? Yeah. So it's very cool to say to somebody. And I think the thing is to, don't be offended if they don't reply immediately or if it takes them a little bit of time to reply.
Or even if they say no.
Yeah, or even if they say no. Don't get all upset and, she's,
she hates me.
She's too cool for school, won't answer my questions. Sometimes it has nothing to do with you. You don't know what happens in the background. And also remember, too, that the face that you see them present online is not necessarily the real face of who they are. You have no idea if it took them 4 weeks to create that amazing cake because they're caring for their ill mother and their kid is sick and they broke their toe or... Not that was too different cake, but you don't know what the backstory is. So don't get offended if they don't reply, but absolutely reach out. And maybe even not with anything grander other than, I've been following for your work for a while. You're really inspiring. I just want to say thanks for being inspiring, and that's it. I can tell you that I get lots and lots of emails, and every time I get one, I feel a bit. It just makes my day. It's nice to know that people care. And absolutely, probably the only other thing I would caution is, I wouldn't necessarily be approaching people who are teaching and say, I can't afford to take that class because it's so expensive, but can we hang out? That's probably a little bit uncool, frankly. But I would be saying, I'm so excited that you're coming to my city. I won't be able to be there this time, but I'm really excited that you're coming. I hope you come back someday. That's totally cool, okay? So definitely reach out to your heroes. We can tell you from personal experience that twice in recent classes, people have said to us, hey guys, is it okay to reach out? In both cases, we told them to reach out, and in both cases, those people found that their heroes were actually just as happy to meet them as they were to meet the other. Yeah. So reach out.
Yeah.
And I was going to say touch someone. That's not really what I was doing. Yeah. It's a little bit inappropriate. Yeah. But anyhow, absolutely reach out. And in terms of potentially seeing you as a competitor, I don't think I'd worry about that too much. It doesn't really factor into it. If you're coming to it from a place of love and truly wanting to make a personal connection, it's not really related. Definitely. Thanks for watching Bob TV, guys. Looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Have a great week.
See ya.